With full state honors and thousands in attendance, Guinea has said goodbye to one of the last living figures of its independence generation. Hadja Andrée Touré, the country's founding First Lady and wife of the late President Sékou Touré, has died at the age of 92. This story by Ade Darame is narrated by Usman Jatta.
She stood beside Ahmed Sékou Touré long before he became Guinea's first president, accompanying him as the independence movement gathered momentum in the closing years of French colonial rule. Even before independence, the young Guinean couple was welcomed to the White House by President Dwight D. Eisenhower and Vice President Richard Nixon as Guinea sought international recognition and support for its new path. When Guinea became independent in 1958, Andree Touré became the country's first lady.
Ce que nous demandons au nom de la solidarité internationale.
A year later, as President Sékou Touré addressed the United Nations, her elegance and confidence attracted international attention, with the couple appearing on the cover of Ebony magazine, then one of the world's most influential black publications. For more than a quarter of a century, she represented Guinea during one of the most significant periods in the country's history. But history would also test her. Following President Sékou Touré's death in 1984 and the military coup, Andree Touré was arrested and imprisoned for 8 years before spending years in exile in Senegal and Ivory Coast. She eventually returned home in 2000, choosing a life away from the public spotlight, yet remaining a significant living symbol of Guinea's national story. In recent years, President Mamadi Doumbouya visited the former First Lady several times and oversaw the return of much of the Touré family's confiscated property. Following her death, he paid tribute to her strength, courage, and lifelong service to Guinea, saying her passing represents the loss of an important part of the nation's collective memory. On Sunday, Andree Touré was laid to rest following a state funeral broadcast across Guinea, attended by senior government officials and thousands of citizens paying their final respects. Her life reflected the story of modern Guinea itself, the first of its African possessions to break away from France's embrace, independence and nation-building, power and prestige, imprisonment and exile, recognition and remembrance. With the passing of Andree Touré, Africa loses one of the last surviving spouses of the generation that led the continent into independence, closing another remarkable chapter in its history. Usman Jatta, QTV News.